thousands of Triad families are going hungry. We talked to two individuals who are making a difference and what that difference means for us, and also what researchers are doing to keep the food we have going safe. Those are today's stories on Triad Perspective. Welcome back. Every day here at North Carolina A&T State University, researchers are spending time in the labs and in the fields to make sure your food is safe. You will be amazed at the work they have to do. I am proud now to introduce Dr. Shirley Hymon-Parker and Dr. Louis Jekai from our Agriculture Department. Nice to have you both very much. I know you're too busy to come over, but thank you for coming anyway. I want to start by asking, you know, people hear us called the Landgrant University. Started in 1890. Well, just briefly, what does that mean?
It means that our universities were started from basically the giving of land to establish our institutions. And what happened early on, universities were really geared towards educating people in the liberal arts. Mm-hmm. And the common man, as we would call it, or the industrial individuals, really were not given an opportunity to be educated. And so those universities that would not allow to educate individuals in the common areas, then were given an opportunity to establish universities. Mm-hmm. And so land was given to those states, and they were able to sell the land, and from the proceeds of the land, establish what they then termed land-grant universities. And then we took off from there. Is that right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And gladly, the 1890 was the second Morrill Act, as it's called, which you know, the first Morrill Act actually created that opportunity for schools that were predominantly white, I would say, mm-hmm. okay, upper class. Mm-hmm. So the second Morrill Act then made it possible for the 1890 system, which is mm-hmm. predominantly minority-driven, mm-hmm. blacks and others.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I'm going to be perfectly honest. When I think of food, I think of grocery store. You know, I don't think of my backyard garden or anything. So tell me the kind of work you actually do in that department and the research you have going.
Okay, within the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, we have programs in animal sciences. So in animal science, our researchers are engaged in what are some ways to basically feed and grow our animals such that they are healthy and disease-free. And then we have within the college, we also have in natural resources and environmental design programs that are in landscape, horticulture, natural resources, studying pretty much the land, the soil, the conditions in which we're able to grow fresh fruits and vegetables so that we get optimum vegetables, healthier vegetables, and doing research on how can we preserve those. Then, of course, we have our agribusiness area, and in that area, they're working with small and limited resource farmers, trying to teach them how to optimize their operations, looking at areas that they can grow, such as agritourism, and just other areas, because people don't realize farming is a business. And so help them, teach them how to operate their business efficiently so that they can make a profit. And then one of our other areas that, again, people tend to not think about is family and consumer sciences. And in family and consumer sciences, we have programs like the food science. You know, again, studying our digestion of food, the preparation of food, fashion merchandising, which people don't tend to think of it.
I never thought of that.
That's right. Fashion merchandising is a fiber made from a plant source. Mm-hmm. And then by all means, child development, well-being. People hear now so much about obesity, childhood obesity. So a number of our programs are designed to help educate folks, teach us how to eat right, how to exercise, live right, but not just for those children, for our families. So you can think in terms from infancy on through the aging adults, how to live healthier lives better, the quality of our lives, so that they can be improved.
I need to be in that department. I need
welcome
to
it.
get my life together. And you did a field day recently. Tell us about that.
Well, yes, I'm associated with the IPM program, which is part of the Natural Resources and Environmental Design Department, which is obviously part of the College of Agriculture. And the field day, we had a demonstration where we showed how to protect some of the most popular vegetables we grow, collard, without applying any harmful insecticides. And all the participants of the field day were so excited to hear what we had to show. And I brought a picture here just to show you what it looked like, the demonstration that we had.
I'm going to hold it up. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, basically what it entails is that you grow your collard. You can see 3 rows of collard in the center. Then on the sides, we have mustard. Okay. We folks like mustards as well as collards.
Yes, we do.
All right. But we're using one to protect the other.
Oh, I see.
And you notice in this shot, the mustards are in bloom. Now, when that happens, the harlequin bug, which this is addressing, is attracted to the mustards. They leave the collard alone.
Oh,
Okay. Now, if that did not happen, we actually had a plot where we didn't have these trap crops, as we refer to the mustard, and those were totally devastated by the insect.
Oh.
And that's what made people so excited. And I have had so many calls, people asking me, to come and help them set it up in their churches and their community gardens. It's a winner.
Okay, well, it sounds wonderful. Any other research you want to make sure you highlight today?
I think one of the areas that people have heard about is our food science, and in the food science, the peanut allergen reduced
Yes.
research, which has gained some national recognition, as well as spin-off companies that are come about as a result of that. So those are some great things. But Sandra, I also want to note that when we think about agriculture, for us, agriculture is about sustaining life. And in North Carolina, agriculture is the #1 industry, bringing in some $84 billion.
See, and we don't think about that. Like I said, we think food, we think grocery store.
No.
Or maybe the tomatoes we planted on the
Right,
pot
right,
on the back
right.
deck.
But that's, ag is all of that. And when we look at the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, our role is to help to prepare individuals to be able to go out and work in those various industries that represents agriculture, not just here in North Carolina, but nationally and worldwide.
And not just tomatoes and collards.
Not
No,
just,
no, absolutely.
not just tomatoes and collards, as we've mentioned also. In fact, one of the areas that has grown in popularity these days is high tunnels. And high tunnels are used to help extend the growing seasons of fruits and vegetables. Sometimes people tend to think solely of certain fruits like strawberries growing only in the summer. Well, now through the high tunnel technology, those can be grown in January, February. In fact, they had that out there in the farm. So it pretty much extends the growing seasons of certain crops. And that also helps that small farmer so that their income is not limited to that very short time span, but it can expand that. So again, when we look at ag, we're doing some exciting things, and it's far more than what people tend to think of, most limited to, just as you say, a couple of fruits grown in the summer, in the plowing. So much more is involved with agriculture.
Well, I am so excited to hear this. I mean, I've been at A&T since I was 5 years old. I've been following my dad who went to school here, and I had no idea what you were doing. I see the farm out there on McCollum Road, and I think, oh, that's A&T agriculture. No, that's not all of it, right?
No. In fact, that farm is our largest classroom. And come early spring, we will be breaking ground for a new facility. It's called our Farm Pavilion. And that's one of our ways to not only begin to expand the research and teaching facility, but demonstration for the community. So we'll be able to conduct greater and larger sessions for the community. And then also we will have coming this spring a student-run and community-run farm. So again, the community will now have a chance to come out, and they can also plant and learn techniques from our students. So
I'll sign up for that.
Let me just add this, that when farmers come to campus, as they do on these field days, that they see what we have to offer them, and we learn from them what their problems are.
That's
And
right.
our research always tries to address farmer problems.
Well, I thank you both for all you're doing and for coming and sharing it with us. If you ever have any more, come back. We'd love to hear it. Thank you
With
both
pleasure.
very much.
Thank
We're going
you.
to take a short break right now, and when we come back, we're going to stay close to your TV because you want to find out how one Triad woman is starting her work with feeding children. Stay with us.
This is the North Carolina A&T State University Historical Minute. I'm Marilyn Parker. The Dudley Memorial Building houses more stone applications than any other building on A&T's campus. A sweep of 15 stones guide visitors to the main entrance. Built in 1893, the original facility contained a library, an auditorium, and administrative offices. In 1930, a fire led to a reconstruction, and the facility was renamed after A&T's second president, James B. Dudley. Today, the building is home to the Maddie Reed African Heritage and H.C. Taylor Art Galleries, music classrooms, and laboratories. The Dudley Memorial Building is located on the east side of campus, directly behind the statue of the A&T 4 and right across from Dudley Road.
Welcome back to Triad Perspectives. I'm your host, Sandra Hughes. Do you think you know what's inside a child's backpack? Well, we're going to let you look inside one to see what a woman is putting in them. Help me welcome Parker White, who's the founder of Backpack Beginnings. Good to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me how that Backpack Beginnings got started.
It all got started when I was living in Washington, D.C. I'd heard about backpack programs through the national news and other places and thought, what a creative way to reach these children in need. But it really didn't hit home until I had my first child. And when I had her, I'd see how vulnerable and dependent she was on me. And I couldn't stop thinking about the other families that loved their children as much as I loved mine, but didn't have the resources to provide for their basic needs.
Okay, so I told them we were going to look over in that backpack. What's in there?
Right. So we actually provide food, clothing, and comfort items to the children that we serve. So some of the backpacks may be food. These are children that have been identified by their social workers in their schools as receiving little to no food when they're in school. Maybe those comfort backpacks are full of hygiene products, school supplies, a stuffed animal, fleece blanket. Those are really our backpacks for the abused and neglected foster, homeless, and refugee children.
Now, these children don't have the backpacks every day that we see on them, do they?
That's right. We provide the food every Friday to them. So it's a one-time donation to really fill that gap of feeding over the weekends.
So someone told me, and I could be wrong, you tell me if I am, that a child who doesn't get to eat Saturday and Sunday really can't catch up until Wednesday comes. Is that right?
That's right. That's the research that we have found. A study said that if a child doesn't eat over the weekends, it takes their body 2.5 days to catch up and to really retain what they're learning. So it's not just a hunger problem, it's an educational problem as well.
So how many backpacks are you making every week?
So for the younger kids, we are serving over 1,600 children for the preschool and elementary age children. And then when they get older, we go into the schools and start food pantries on site, which allows us to actually include fresh produce in the food that we're sending. So we're in 14 middle and high schools as well. So we're feeding almost 3,000 every single week. We're excited about that.
That is incredible. It must have your head just rocking trying to get it together. Is it difficult?
It is hard to run a organization completely volunteer. We have no paid staff, but we have 18 amazing women, really mainly stay-at-home moms that have come on and said, I want to give back to my community. And it's amazing the trickle-down effect. I've seen their own children talk about Backpack Beginnings. My own daughter actually has started her own charity that puts together food bags for homeless. So it's amazing. It is difficult to keep it 100% volunteer. We won't do it to the detriment of the organization, but we're really excited to be able to give really most of the monies we receive back to the children that we serve.
So if somebody's watching us today and say, well, I can't do a lot, but what can I do? What would you suggest?
So we would love for them to come out and check out our facility, get involved and help us in the warehouse, volunteer with us, or donate some in-kind items, donate food, clothing, all of that. So there's a lot of different ways from fundraising to volunteering.
So do they call you? Is that how it works?
We have a website for them to visit,
Okay.
backpackbeginnings.org. We would love for them to check that out and then come visit us in person.
Okay, now, here's a fun part. You're up for a big award. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I am honored to be one of 4 finalists in the country for a humanitarian award. It's the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award given out by the NASCAR Foundation. And by just making it to the top 4, we automatically receive $25,000.
Wow.
Which is amazing, but we have the opportunity to win $100,000. And what we need are votes. So we're looking for everyone who's listening to go to nascar.com/award and vote for us. You can vote 1 time a day until September 26th.
Vote for Parker White.
Vote for Parker White and Backpack
Yes.
Beginnings,
Yeah.
because Backpack Beginnings will be getting the money.
Oh.
And it just takes a few seconds to vote. You can do it 1 time a day. And we really want to make sure that we bring that money here to Guilford County and to the children that we serve here.
So what's your goal? I mean, right now you have thousands. So do you have ideas of making that bigger?
We do. We have a waiting list of schools, unfortunately, and we are working really hard to get those off our waiting list. We are starting 7 new schools this fall and have already identified more schools to start later this fall and in January. So I want to make sure every school is covered. Every child has their basic needs met. So, and then we're excited where our fresh food initiative is going. We are in talks to start our own gardens. We have done some field trips to gardens. And we recently did a dinner with one of our schools out at a farm. So we're really excited about where the Fresh Food Initiative is going and just the growth of all 4 of our programs.
Didn't you say you get some food from A&T?
We do. So some of our fresh produce comes from the farms at A&T. So we really rely on community partnerships to be able to feed the children.
May I ask, how do you find the time to do what you're doing? It sounds like there are not enough hours.
It is difficult. It's definitely a 50-hour-a-week volunteer position, but I have an amazing support system. My family is wonderful, and I try to fit most of it in when my kids are in school, but my kids love to come along to the events, come to the warehouse and volunteer, and I have an amazing husband that allows me to do this.
Well, that's the only way I guess you could get
Yes,
by if
that's
everybody
right.
is on board with what you're doing.
That's right.
Well, I think it's wonderful, and you've been doing this for, what, 6 years?
That's right. It started about 6.5 years ago in my dining room. I did not envision starting a nonprofit. It was just, I was just looking for my way to give back to the community. It was supposed to be 1 school and 50 children, and this fall we're in 45 schools, serving 6,000 children every year.
That's incredible. Well, congratulations, and I know you'll get that award. Come on, folks, let's vote for her. Get on the air and on the web and vote for Parker White so she can get that wonderful award and bring all of that money to the Triad. That would be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Good. All right. Thank you very much. Nice having you with us.
Thank
and if
you.
we can ever do anything to help you, let us know.
Will do.
That'd be
Thank you.
great. So, where does the food come from? When we come back after this short break, meet a man whose heart led him on a mission to find food for the hungry. Stay with us.
I'm Gabrielle Cook, and this is the A&T Historical Minute. Harrisville Auditorium is the largest theater on A&T's campus and sets the stage for a variety of productions.
Built in 1939, Harrisville Auditorium is named after former drama department chair Richard Barry Harrison. After spending 8 years at A&T, Harrison was called to Broadway to star in the role of DeLaude in the production of Green Pastures. In 2005, Harrison went through a $4 million renovation, which added 5 bathrooms, expanded the stage, and improved the seating capacity to 963. Harrisville Auditorium is home to the nationally ranked A&T theater company, the Richard B. Harrison Players. Its stage is used throughout the year for events such as Aggies and Poets and many other student and local productions.
Welcome back. It's called A Simple Gesture. We're going to find out about a man who started it in the Triad because his heart led him to address the hunger issue. We're pleased to have him here with us today. So welcome, Bob Biggerstaff. Good to see you, Bob. Bob's a good friend of mine, and I'm glad that you're doing something that I envy.
Well, thank you.
Tell me how you got started with the simple gesture.
I actually saw an article in the Wall Street Journal in December of 2014, and it was an article about a retired executive in Paradise, California that wanted to do something about the hunger problem. So he actually set up the first simple gesture in Paradise, California, was very successful, and I thought the concept was really neat, and perhaps we could implement it here also.
And so you got started how long ago?
I actually started in January of 2015 was when I started putting everything together. We're a 501c3, so I got it organized, and then I got our church, Westminster Presbyterian, to be the Genesis church to start the program. And so we actually had our first food pickup in June of 2015.
So tell me how it works.
It's really, our name represents our philosophy about trying to address the food problem in Guilford County.
Let the folks see this. Go ahead.
Your simple gesture would be, if you decide to participate in our program, that you take one of our grocery bags, and once each week, as you go grocery shopping, you buy one additional non-perishable and put it in the grocery
Just
bag.
one?
Just one each week. And if you're a good shopper, it's very inexpensive. Every 2 months, on the date that we have on the tag, our volunteer drivers will come by your home, pick up the full bag of food, and leave you another bag for the next 8 weeks.
That's simple.
It's simple.
That is a simple gesture.
And we're trying to reach those people who are concerned about hunger, but don't have an easy way of doing this. And we tried to make it as simple as possible, as inexpensive as possible, because we want to leverage as many people as possible in Guilford County in trying to alleviate this problem. There are 125,000 households in Guilford County. 10% would be 12,500. 5% would be 6,000 homes. Our next goal is to reach 5,000 homes, food donors. We're at about 1,700 right now. Our last food pickup was August the 13th. We picked up 22,000 pounds of food. And on that Saturday, it was so much fun, we actually had 57 volunteer drivers going around Greensboro and Guilford County, picking up full bags of food and leaving an empty bag for the next 2 months.
That is fabulous. That's just wonderful. So how many people do you need to keep things rolling?
We have big plans. So we have a number of volunteers. We have a small group of management volunteers that actually assign the routes, use our software program to assign the routes. We have volunteers that goes to churches and businesses to get their participation. We have people that go to Out of the Garden, Parker's, Backpack Beginnings, to actually sort the food that we pick up every Saturday. So on any given Saturday that we're working, we may have 100 volunteers that are out there trying to address the food problem.
So your thing is just to gather the food, then you pass it on to like Parker White, who gives out the food.
That's
Is that
right. We don't deal with distribution or storage. On the Saturdays that we collect the food, we take it straight to one of our 3 partners that we actually use, Out of the Garden, Backpack Beginnings, and Greensboro Urban Ministry. So we're trying to deal with the collection. We're trying to get people that don't normally have a routine of donating food. People are incredibly generous. If there's a food drive at their office or at their church, they'll bring macaroni and cheese and they'll do it.
That's right.
We wanted to make a habit of this, and we also want to use this to make more people aware of the hunger problem in Greensboro and Guilford County.
And I don't think any of us realize that there are thousands and thousands of households who don't have, I'm just saying for the weekend, don't have food for the weekend.
You're exactly right. I wasn't aware of the problem until I started paying attention. And I talked to people. I didn't know it was such a big problem. Well, it is a big problem. And we're all concerned about anybody being hungry, adults and kids. But the thing that really touched me and the thing that touches our donors is hungry kids. And we're trying to do something about that.
Yes.
We want to support the backpacks. We want to support setting up pantries in any school in Guilford County that wants a pantry. And we're going to collect the food, and then we'll take it to Parker and Don Milholland at Out of the Garden and Greensboro Urban Ministry and Jewish Family Services to distribute the food.
Whoever. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you because they need it, just call you, right?
Well, actually, they can go to our website, and they can actually enroll in our website. We have some high school volunteers that if you go to our website and say you want to participate, we will bring a bag to your home so that you don't have to go anywhere to get started.
This is wonderful. I'm so proud of what you're doing. Thank you, Bob,
Thank you very much.
Good. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for joining us. You can watch us each Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Time Warner Cable, Channel 69. Triad Perspectives also airs on the North Carolina Public Television, UNC TV. So check local listings for the day and time in your area. Also be sure to contact us on social media. Like us on Facebook at Triad Perspectives. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Triad Perspectives, and that's also at mcat.jomc. And you can watch this and all of our shows on our YouTube channel by searching NC Aggie TV. We'd love to hear from you. What do you like? What don't you like? We'd like to have your suggestions on our website. Just type blogs.ncat.edu/TV studio. A special thanks to our guests today, and thank you for watching. I'm Sandra Hughes. Have a great day.